And good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Tollcross International Swimming Centre for the first evening session, Scottish National Open Championships 2018. I'm Robert Taylor. I'll be doing your commentary, and with me is Dan Wallace, ex-Olympian. Good evening, Dan.
Good evening, Robert. Thanks for having me.
As you can see, that's session 3. We have a swim-off that starts the session, but then we move on to number of events, 9 in total. We kick off with the women's 100 butterfly. We have master class, multi-purpose swimmers. The B final and A final follows. That and rolls on to the 100 free for men, 200 free women, 200 butterfly for the men. A couple of backstroke events at the other end of the pool, 50 back for women and the 50 breast for men, 400 IM for the women. Just a A and B final on that one. As you can see, the butterfly for the men, also an A and B final. We have the fastest heat of the men's 1500 freestyle and also the fastest heat of the women's 4x200. So a lot to look forward to, Dan.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting night. A good way to start off. We've kind of got a bit of everything tonight, and I think I'm really looking forward to this first swim-off. Actually, it's going to be a good way to start off the evening.
As you can see, hashtag SNOC18. Please send your messages. And in the background, Alison Law, the Scottish President, just giving a message. We'll keep quiet and let you hear that. And SASA President giving that address, Alison Law, just newly installed. And we go to the bottom end of the pool here, Dan. We have a swim-off to start the proceedings. Two lads on the 50 breast, Oscar Hill from Edinburgh University in 4, Finlay Cousins in 5. They did a 31-31 this morning, so they're battling it out for one of those reserves places. If someone drops out, the winner of this will automatically go into the B final. I'm sure you've had one or two of these in your career doing a swim-off, Dan?
I was actually fortunate enough to never have to do a swim-off, but it was always something I actually wanted to do. It's another great opportunity for these two swimmers to stand up on the box tonight and give it another shot at the short breaststroke race.
One thing in the swim-off, you usually find that the swimmers swim that a little bit faster. We had a swim-off this morning, and both the swimmers swam about a half a second faster. That would have got them effectively, if they swam that earlier on, one into the A final and one into the B final. Looks like we're ready to go, Dan.
they've got that little bit of adrenaline that they didn't have this morning, you know. All eyes are on them right now.
So a 19-year-old Oscar Heald from Edinburgh University goes in 4. Finlay Cousins, Aberdeen Performance, 15-year-old, goes in 5. So after a good clean start there, Dan.
Yeah, it looked like the younger swimmer from Aberdeen actually had a better dive, but it's going to be a close race.
So what are these lads looking to do down this this 50?
I think they just got to keep their cool and focus on their own race. The 50 goes over so quickly, so just stick to their race plan and their technique.
Certainly the youngster, Finlay Cousins, looks as though he's getting the business done here. So Finlay Cousins going to take the event. Certainly won that quite easily indeed, 31.28. 300s faster than he swam earlier today. That was the finish there, Dan.
That was a good start to the session. Slight improvement from this morning. He's got himself a reserve spot for the final.
So there's the result. So Finlay will be the first reserve, Oscar the second reserve. So after that one, we will then move on to our finals. First, the final is the 100 butterfly. Multi-class swimmers just making their way poolside. So all the action will be at the other end of the pool now. A mixture, as you saw in the caption earlier on, of 100s, 200s, 50s, and some longer distance events. So as you can see, the two girls just getting ready. So we've got a good crowd of youngsters from East Kilbride over there. So as you can see, the two girls in lane 4 with the white cap, Tony Shaw from Aberdeen Performance. And in lane 5, Genevieve Hunter from South Lanarkshire. So Tony Shaw, S9 category, Genevieve Hunter, S8 category. So Tony this morning, 109.69. Genevieve, 210.62. Looks like a nice clean start for both girls there. What should they be doing throughout the race here, Dan?
Well, Tony was fortunate to have some exposure to the Commonwealth Games and some big international swimming earlier in the year, so she should be quite confident going into this race. She's been here before. She's only very young, but she's a talented swimmer.
Certainly at the first 50, 32.76 for Tony. You see a youth squad member Scotland set up. So the British Championships in the multi-class discipline. She looks pretty strong coming down here, Dan.
I believe she had a personal best this morning, so it'll be good to see if she can lower that again this evening.
The moment just over a minute gone.
She's looking really strong in this finish.
So into the red zone, and it virtually what she did this morning, 109.57, and coming through. And just let you know that that is a new Scottish record for Tony Shaw. So as you said, Dan, she looked very good in the heats this morning, and she's done the business again this evening. Genevieve Hunter coming in with about 15 to go here, Dana.
Yeah, she's getting a really gutsy performance tonight, so hopefully she'll be pleased with her swim.
Certainly a very hard event, butterfly. All these multi-class swimmers keeping it going pretty solidly throughout. And a very good time for her, 2:03.
That's another improvement from this morning, so that's great. both girls moving on and knocking us in small margins, which is it's all about really.
So we move on to the B final. Times in this one from this morning, a 103.47 through to 104.80.
We've got a whole range of swimmers here, athletes of all ages, so it'll be good to see some of the younger ones can step up. Some have a bit more experience than others, but it'd be good to get in and race one another tonight.
Certainly from our programme this morning, it looks like we've got one swimmer that's dropped out. So, in fact, two swimmers have dropped out. So the two reserves, first and second reserves, have got swims. So they're on the outside lanes. Just waiting a second to get them all settled. I'm sure this is the worst bit, Dan. You're rearing to go and you're held up for a few minutes. Looks like there might just be a little teething problem.
I used to quite enjoy standing behind the box.
So just while we're waiting, Dan, you can maybe give us a wee update on what you're now planning to do after retirement from all the events you've been taking part over that long career of yours.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to figure things out really, just searching every avenue of what I can now possibly do, so it's an exciting time for me.
So certainly a bit of media work coming your way hopefully, and hopefully that'll lead you on to bigger and better things.
Yeah, that'd be really, really exciting for me to see if that's a career path for myself.
So this might be the consolation for some of these girls, but it's all about winning, even if you're only in the B final, Dan, I'm sure.
Yeah, you race to win. It doesn't matter if you're in the A or the B final, you're in it to win it, and got to get up there and give it your best shot, really.
And as you can see from the camera, over on that far side, Clodagh Flood from Leinster in that blue cap seems to be the leader, Dan.
Yeah, it seems to be the slightly older girls out in front right now, maybe using their experience to get out first and get out fast, but see if some of the younger swimmers can step up the second 50.
So 29.06 at that first split. Clodagh looks pretty strong indeed, coming down about 25 to go, Dan.
Yeah, this is where it really matters. It can all fall apart in the last 20 metres, so it's whoever's got the best finish really, and whoever's the toughest swimmer.
Mia Flood in 4, also well there. Gael Canassi Guanam. But Leinster girl takes that. 102.20.
That's a really good improvement from this morning, so she should be happy with that race.
And you have the finish again. So what did she do that really took it out to make sure she won that one, Dan?
Well, I think she really builded well into that race. She wasn't out too fast. Didn't get too carried away, and she really just ramped up second 50 and was really strong through the back end.
Well, the scoreboard that we can see has 9 swimmers. Obviously, the other reserves not been included. But, we should have that appearing maybe on your screen just to confirm that. But as you said, Dan, nice start to the proceedings. 102.20, Clodagh 103.64 this morning. So making their way onto the pool are the A finalists. This would have been an interesting one. No Kiana McInnes in this one, Dan. She obviously pulled out. For, I don't know if there's a medical issue. It would have been interesting to see her up against Tane Bruce.
Yeah, they've got quite a good rivalry building up, and they've both had really good heat performances. So let's see if Tane can really smash it tonight and try and dip under that minute mark. Would be great.
Tane, the Scottish record holder, kind of the junior champion. So over in lane 0, we have Jane Roberts from Leinster. In lane 1, Kate Mills from Loughborough. In 2, Yasmin Perry, Aberdeen Performance. In 3, Sophie Freeman from the East Region of England. Tane Bruce, Edinburgh University. In 4, Emma Reid from Swim Ulster. In 5, Pia Murray, Ellesmere College Titans. In 6, Amelia Kleins, Loughborough University. 7, Amrita Robertson, Loughborough University. In 8, and Emma Harvey from Millfield School goes in lane 9. This is the women's 100 metres butterfly final. And certainly Tane Bruce, 1:00:62, almost a second faster than Emma Reid in lane 5. You'd certainly fancy Tane in this one. This is probably our favourite event, 50 and 100. So a good start in lane 5 from Emma Reid though. Tane Bruce still up there. He's very prominent Dan over on the far side. Jane Roberts also going well in that blue cap in 0.
Yeah, Tane's she's a great swimmer. She can really step up and put in some good performances mid-season, so that's really good. So you should see her go a pretty fast time tonight if she swims well.
And it is those 3 girls, Emma Reid 28:21, 28:29 Tane Bruce, and 28:83 Jane Roberts, the 2 girls in the middle. And certainly good turn there from Tane Bruce.
Yeah, Tane had a really strong underwater phase, which was one of her strengths, so it was really good to see her utilise that, and hopefully she can stay strong through this last 50 metres and get her head down.
Coming through late, Pia Murray in lane 6 to challenge for 3rd place, but it looks like Tane Bruce is going to take this one. Tane Bruce comes through in lane 3, finishing very strongly was Sophie Freeman, and Emma Reid having to settle for 3rd. So Tane Bruce 1:00:52, similar time to this morning, just 300s faster. That was a super finish there from Sophie Freeman in 2nd there, Dan.
Yeah, that was a really exciting race, and there was a lot going on from the start to the finish. And
well, there certainly has been a lot going on, because disqualification in lane 4. So Sophie Freeman, 1:01:22, now takes that. Well, few possibilities. DQ, it could be a start. Something infringement. It might have been the turn, Dan.
yeah, I think there's a lot around the turn where you can go wrong, so it could be that, but I'm unsure right now. A lot of dramas already so far. It's only the 2nd event.
Yeah, so Emma Reid 1:01:43, Pia Murray 1:01:89. That's the 1, 2, 3 now. Sophie Freeman 1:01:22. So a bit of a shock to get us underway, Dan.
Yeah, that was a bit of a surprise. She put in a great race, but there must have been something she did slightly wrong.
So you just get on with it and worry about what happens on your next swim, Dan.
Yeah, you're right there. You just need to work on doing things right in training, I guess.
She certainly had a good swim, Tane Bruce. So we move on to our 100 freestyle, our multi-class final. In lane 0, Cameron Hemphill from Incas. In lane 1, Rhys Gill from Ethan. In 2, Gavin Roberts from the City of Glasgow. In lane 3, Oliver Carter from Carnegie. In lane 4, Louis Lola from the City of Glasgow. In lane 5, Jack Milne, Dundee City Aquatics. In lane 6, John Law from the University of Stirling. Kyle Hughes in lane 7 from North Lanarkshire. In lane 8, Adam Donaghy from South Lanarkshire. And in lane 9, Neil Ferguson from the East Lothian swim team. So this is the 100 metres freestyle multi-class final. Oliver Carter, 58.84, 56.88, Louis Law in 4, and Jack Milne 58.40. So it's not always on time. It's to do with the multi-class. They accumulate points based on their classification.
Had 3 boys dip under the minute mark this morning, so see if they can all push one another and try and do that again, and maybe bring another few boys with them.
Mueller off to a good start there, Dan. Already about a body length or so clear of the rest of the field.
Yeah, he'll be looking to make his mark in this race and get the win for himself.
Of course, this is his home pool, 27.53, about 3/4 ahead of Jack Milne and Oliver Carter, other side. And he looks pretty strong coming down this final stretch.
Just about holding it together this last part of the race and just continuing to build up momentum into the finish.
Oliver Carter in 3, finishing very strongly in second place perhaps, but Laura's going to take this very close indeed for second. I think possibly just lane 5, Jack Milne. So 56.42 the winning time.
That's another improvement from this morning, so that's great to see.
John Law 58.37 and Oliver Carter. And Louis Lawler 56.42. That is a S14 Scottish record. So the second record in the multi-class this evening. And these lads delighted. Oliver Carter give him a big hug. So well done, Louis. Great to see that. And also, Louis Carter, S10. Also, new Scottish record for Ollie. He's been swimming really well this season, the lad from Carnegie.
That's really good to see those two guys pushing each other there and both getting personal bests and records, so that's great.
58.40, 58.84, so almost half a second. That's a big chunk to take off in an event. So we move on to our B final. Whole mixture of ages, 18 through to 21 in this one, 52.29 through to 53.18. So I'm sure some of them will be trying to get under 52 seconds here in this one. So it looked a fairly clean start, possibly over in lane 2, Alan Corby from Munster. Off to a pretty strong start. James Oxborough also up there in lane 1.
Yeah, we had a pretty close heat soons for all these guys here, all around 52-second mark. So it could really be anyone's race going off this morning's performances.
Jack Sharanek, 24.73 from Grant Henderson, 24.75, lanes 3 and 5 with a slight advantage coming down the stretch, and it looks like Grant Henderson in 5. Another City Glasgow swimmer coming through strongly here.
Jack Sharanek out fast there. He's got some really big front end speed, so let's see who can bring it home the best.
And coming down the stretch is Grant Henderson, Scott Govey, Jack Sharanek, very tight indeed. Well, it's fat. Scott Govey snatched it, 51.99. Grant Henderson, 52.08 and 52.38 for Jack Sharanek. What a finish there, Dan. You'll see it coming down with 15 to go. Well, how did Scott win that?
Just about getting your hand on the wall first, putting your head down. A close race, just like we predicted, so that's great to see.
All about timing, hitting that wall spot on, and Scott Govey managed to get under 52 seconds, so I'm sure he's delighted with that. So we move on to the A final. This should be an interesting one. Jack Thorpe, Scott McLeod, David Prendergast. Who do you fancy in this one, Dan?
Well, just speaking to Jack Thorpe's coach, who said this could well be his last competition, so I think he's going to want to leave his mark here and go out with a bang with a win.
So in lane 0, in the A final, we have Brian O'Sullivan from Leinster. In lane 1, Curtis Coulter from Swim Ulster. In lane 2, Scott McClay from the University of Stirling. In lane 3, Sam Irvin from Loughborough University. In lane 4, the aforementioned Jack Thorpe from Edinburgh University. In 5, David Prendergast from Leinster. In 6, Martin Walton, University of Stirling. In 7, Luke Robbins, University of Stirling. 8, Kyle Boyack, Stockport Metro. And Lewis Clough from City of Salford in 9. This is the men's 100 freestyle final. Like a good clean start there, Dan.
Jack Thorpe really strong off the blocks there as usual, so let's see if he can really have a great swim tonight.
Sam Irvin in 3 also well up there, Dan.
Yeah, we've got a lot of fast swimmers in this final. Scott McClay and Martin Walton train alongside Duncan Scott and Sterling, so they've obviously got some good experience training with some great 100 freestyle swimmers, so let's see how they do compared to the rest of the field.
As you say, Jack Thorpe will want to go in a bang, half a second in it. Still with the advantage coming down the final stretch. Jack Thorpe, David Prendergast and Sam Irvin. Looks like Jack's going to do this, Dan.
Just need to stay strong with the last few strokes, but it looks like it's going to be Jack's race tonight.
Jack Thorpe, Sam Irvin and Scott McClay, I think. 1, 2, 3. That's how it finished. Jack Thorpe, 50.01.
It's a really good swim there from Jack. It would have been great to see him dip under 50, but that is it's a quick time for this time of year.
Sam Irvin, 50.62. Scott McClay, 50.84, taking third. And there's the finish, Dan.
It was Jack seemed to control that race from start to finish, and hopefully he's happy with that time.
Good strong finish over in lane 3 for Sam Irvin. And Scott McClay also up there taking third place from lane 2. So we move on to 200 freestyle for the women. Our multi-class swimmers make their way. I think it might be presentations first of all. Some of the officials just adjusting the chairs there, Dan. Well, if he's going out, he's certainly going out in a high, winning the Scottish National Open champion title.
Yeah, you should be happy with that race. He looked really good from start to finish, and all his skill aspects were strong.
So Tony Shaw, winner of the women's 100 butterfly multi-class.
It's great to see Tony swimming well off the back of a successful first international debut out in Australia with Team Scotland, so that's nice.
Tell me, Dan, are you missing it yet?
Not yet, no. I'm not missing the early wake-up times, that's for sure.
So we move on to the presentation of the women's 100 butterfly. Also loading those presentations. So the bronze medalist from Ellesmere College Titans, Pia Murray. Emma Reid, our silver medalist from Swim Ulster. Sophie Freeman from the East Region of England is Scottish National Open champion. And And Alcaraz is the Scottish champion. Sometimes get a little bit confusing when we have winners who are non-Scots. We also have the Scottish champion who might end up being in a B final. So we're also doing presentations of the last event we've just seen. That's the multi-class awards. Oliver Carter from Carnegie in that 58.40 new Scottish record. He takes the bronze.
We need Alison up present, giving medals out. Alison should be up giving medals out.
And just waiting for Alison Lowe to get back over to finish those presentations. Alison maybe thought that she was just doing the one little set there, Dan. And Alison just makes her way over.
She's not done yet. A couple more medals to hand out.
So Ollie Carter gets deserved bronze medal there. Jack Milne, Dundee City Aquatics, a silver medalist.
These boys are all looking very happy about their swims, so that's good to see.
And also a new Scottish record, 56.42 for Louis Lawler, City Glasgow. Great to see these lads getting the opportunity to swim at the Open Championships, Dan.
Yeah, it's great to have this kind of competition for everyone, where you can all come up and race for another mid-season.
So thankfully, no disqualification in the men's 100 freestyle. And these lads just make their way over. Scott McClay, Sam Irvin, Jack Thorpe, 3 medalists. So bronze medalist, I was going to say from Perth City, but it's the University of Stirling now for Scott McClay. Silver medalist from Loughborough University, Sam Irvin. And the Scottish National Open champion from Edinburgh University, Jack Thorpe. Sandra, who is this, the other swimmer? John Keane. John Keane from Swimmers Lothian, the junior champion there. John, of course, fastest in the heats earlier on. 100 freestyle, you don't usually get 16 and unders getting in an A or B final there, Dan. So
yeah, it's quite a competitive event with usually the older boys swimming at night against one another.
So we move on to women's 200 freestyle now. First event that we have is the multi-classification. 2 girls go in this one. There should be 2 girls, just the one swimmer has made their way. Amy McFarlane from North Lanarkshire swim team. Kelly Hago from South Ayrshire not taking part in this one. So have Amy, her entry time 2:48.48, 25-year-old S14 category.
It'll just be Amy against the clock tonight in her race. Just really needs to stick to her race plan, which I'm sure her and her coach have spoken about prior to the race. And just make sure she's pacing it right. It's quite hard when you're just swimming on your own, that you've not really got anyone else to gauge off, so this might be a bit tougher than usual.
So 50 metres, turning in 35.99. So have there been many occasions where you've had the experience of having to do a swim all on your own for a medal?
Not really, no. The only situation is, I guess, if you're doing really well and you're quite far ahead of your race, you don't really have anyone to race. But it's always a bit easier when you've got someone on your shoulder to push one another along and to race tough against.
So coming down towards the 100-metre mark. So just under 2:50 was their entry time, halfway, 1:18.97. So pacing roughly around the 42-second mark there. So let's see how she does down the final 100. Still keeping it going pretty well, Dan.
Yeah, the 200 freestyle is a lot different from the race we just watched in the men's event. And this one's a lot more about pacing it and making sure you've not worked too hard at the front and making sure you can even split your race across the back 350s.
Certainly going pretty well. Let's hope she turns just in shade over the 2-minute mark. Well, 2:03.98. Virtually 45 seconds. So if she can just keep this going, Dan, she's going to be pretty close to what she did this morning.
Yeah, it should be quite good if she can hold it together this last 50, maybe pick up the legs towards the end. She'll be right on the time she swam this morning.
So 2:24, just around the halfway mark. So he's certainly kicking on pretty strongly down the final stretch, Dan.
Yeah, this is where the legs are going to start to be burning, but as I said before, without having anyone else in your race, this should be quite a tough race for her, but she's doing really well.
So I think she might just get inside that 2:48.48. She did indeed, 2:48.27.
It's great to see her scraping off those small margins. That's really what it's all about, small improvements.
We have her coming in, just finishing off the race, and as you said, Dan, fantastic to do that all on your own, with no one with you. So we move on to our B final. So times in here, 2:07.20 through to 2:09.16. So this certainly should be very competitive. Alice Alcaraz in 4, Tara Hayworth in 5, 2 senior bronze squad members from the Scottish team.
Yeah, we got a really closely packed race from this morning's heat, so it'll be good to see what girls managed to get the pacing right, and could see some people go out a bit too slow or a bit too fast this first end.
They're all fairly tightly bunched at the moment. Might just be Tara Hayworth. In fact, lane 6, Bethany Firth, doing particularly well here. Certainly Bethany 29.20. Action all on this near side, Dan.
It's a good start so far. It's all about just who's got the best race strategy, really, and pushing one another throughout the race and finishing strong. I've had quite a lot of experience in the 200 freestyle. It's a great event. Get involved in some relays as well, so let's see if any of these girls can get close to their PBs tonight.
And Tara Hayworth now coming through strongly in this second half of the race. 1:01.67 for Tara.
Really good turn there from Tara. Quite a long underwater phase, which you don't see that often in the 200 freestyle. So if you can really work those turns and work those skills, then it's just going to make the race a lot easier for you.
She was the winner at the Edinburgh International. So 2:04.48 was her entry time to this meet, so she certainly swam a little bit slower in the heats, as did quite a number of the swimmers.
You can always afford to back off a little bit in the heats as long as you know that you're in a position to get a final swim, and then at night you really let it go and see what we've got in the tank.
She certainly has this one well under control from the looks of things, Dan. About a body length clear, coming through pretty strongly. Shan Shemsi in lane 7.
Edinburgh University teammate at the far lane has had a really good back end. See if she can pick up top 3 as well.
Also in lane 3, Anna Small, but Tara Hayworth, 2:06.04.
That was a really good finish from all those girls there. The race did tighten up a bit towards the end.
And all the action finish in the middle lanes. Tara Hayworth, 2:06.04. Anna Small, 2:06.43. Alice Alcaraz, 2:06.51. All much faster than this morning. And yeah, we have the finish. 2 girls other side, just finishing that a little bit stronger to get the minor places. And certainly Anna Smale pretty well to get up there to take second. So making our way poolside, our A final. And Beth Aitchison and Kilmasson. That should be another interesting one, Dan.
Yeah, we've got quite a lot of our English girls in this final, so it's great to have that competition from all around the UK. So let's see if our Scottish contingent can challenge them tonight in this race.
So in lane 0 we have Mas Evan from Derventio. In lane 1 from Arbroath St Thomas, Sophie Smith. In 2, Kate Clifton from the city of Sheffield. In lane 3, Abby Houston, also from the city of Sheffield. In 4, Loughborough University's Beth Aitchison. In 5, Raquel Masson from Edinburgh University. Amy Grant, Loughborough University in 6. Monique Olivier, Edinburgh University in 7. Sophie Freeman from the East Region in 8. And Nikki Miller from South Lanarkshire in lane 9. Well, a 14-year-old in lane 8, 15-year-old in lane 0.
Yeah, it'd be great to see if you can see some of these younger swimmers really challenging the older, more experienced ones tonight.
A good contingent up from England. A number of them making this final. Just 4 Scots in this one. Raquel Masson in 5, the fastest of those. Beth Aitchison, 2:03.40, 2:03.87 for Raquel. Certainly a good start. Kate Clifton over in lane 2, the Sheffield swimmer.
Need to be careful not to go too hard in the legs this first 50, because that can come to bite you towards the end of the race.
Raquel Masson off to a good start though. In 5 now, she's gone out pretty hard.
Yeah, she's really taking control of this race from the start, which is it's good to see, and she looks really confident in her stroke right now.
Another member of the Scottish Silver squad. 4th at the Irish Championships. Looking at the Geneva International. And just coming up beside her, Beth Aitchison. 2 almost stroke for stroke, Dan, as we reach the halfway mark.
Yeah, it's good to see these 2 girls pushing each other and racing tough already at the halfway mark. Let's see who's got the most in them in the second half of the race.
And out the turn, Beth Aitchison from Loughborough. Just a fraction ahead, Monique Olivier, as you can see, not that far behind in 3rd place. And the battle certainly on here, coming down with just over 50 to go. It looks like Beth's a little bit stronger here, Dan.
Yeah, we've kind of got our top 3 already trying to prove themselves. Let's see if they can race tough this last 50 and hold it together.
And an advantage 400s, all to play for here off that turn. As you can see, Monique Olivier still trying to get back on Thames. There's very little between the 2 here, Dan, Beth and Monique.
This is heating up to be a really good race here. They're quite far apart, so let's see if they can just stick the head down and finish strong.
And it looks like Beth's going to take this, Dan. Very close for second. McNeek, I think, just held on to take second. She did indeed. Beth Aitchison, 201.94. Monique, 202.62, 202.67. Raquel Masson.
That was a really well swam race by Beth Aitchison there. Really well paced and built into it the whole way and came out with the win.
Swimming lane 7 from Monique to hold on and just get up to get second place. Here we have the confirmed result. And leader Kate Clifton from lane 2 in 4th place.
Yeah, we saw Rachel Masson really lead it from the start, but it was good to see the lead spot kind of chop and change, so that made it very exciting.
So we'll move on to the multi-class event. In lane 0 from the City of Glasgow is James Black. In lane 1, George Barber, Wolverhampton School. Lane 2, James Baxter, Wickham and District. In lane 3, Jonah Walsh from Wonder Baths. In lane 4, Felix Gifford, University of Stirling. Jamie McDonald in 5 from Wonder Baths. Mark Elric, City of Glasgow in 6. Liam Burrell, City of Leeds 7. The East Region's Herbie Kinder in 8 and Mark Ford, City Glasgow in 9. This is the B final. Mark Ford, 15-year-old, super swim, took about 3 seconds just to scrape into this final. You see him there in lane 9.
This is another event where pacing really comes into play. It's all about who's got the best race strategy and sticking to your own plan. But this is another really painful race, but a good one to watch.
So 4 grueling lengths of butterfly. Off to a good start in lane 2. James Baxter, the Wickham swimmer. From about half a body length clear. Lane 6, Mark Elric, 27.88, 27.43, about half a second in it.
James Baxter looking really long out this first half of the race. See if he can hold it together and build throughout.
Certainly Mark Elric going well in lane 6, and those two still 1 and 2. The Wickham swimmers looks quite strong at the halfway mark. Coming through strongly, Felix Gifford in 4. What's Felix got to do in 4? Fastest in this final, B final, to try and get into the mix down the second 100.
58.6 is a really good first start to the race. Let's see if he can hold it together and really improve of this morning's swim.
So still the advantage over on that far side. James Baxter still going well, Dan, and Mark Elric sticking with him. Those two still at the fore of things.
And these guys turn in neck and neck. They probably can't see each other. They're quite far apart, so I think it's who can hold it together the best towards the end. A really great turn there from the lane 6 Glasgow swimmer.
And certainly Mark Elric looks as though he's just hit the front. But, James Baxter over on that far side, firing back. And James Baxter finishing the stronger, it looks like, Dan, from Mark Elric. Good battle between the two, with Felix Gifford in 4, probably having to perhaps settle for 3rd. No, it's Jonah Walsh. What a finish from James Baxter there, 2:03.88. Mark Elric, 2:05.03. Jonah Walsh, 2:06.83 in 3rd.
That was a really strong swim from all of them there. James Baxter out fast and held on. It was really great to see.
You won it pretty easily at the end.
Yeah, it's an event that can kind of chop and change as it goes throughout the race, and it can really hurt towards the end. So he paced that well, and I'm sure his coach is happy with how he handled it.
Certainly both the lads well clear of the 3rd and 4th swimmers. Good swim also from Mark Elric in 2nd place there, Dan. So we move on to the A final. Swimmers taking part in this one. In lane 0, Callum Reid from Edinburgh University. Ruben Vista from the City of Sheffield in lane 1. In lane 2, Celine McMelly from Connacht. In 3, Edward Redneck from University of Stirling. In 4, Tom Bealey, Aberdeen Performance. Jacob Jackson from Ellesmere College Titans. In 5, Joe Litchfield, Loughborough Uni. In 6, Ryan Brown, City of Glasgow. In 7, Jack Toll from City of Sheffield. In 8, and Kane Murcutt from Royal Wolverhampton School goes in 9.
It'll be interesting to see if any of these middle lane guys can keep up to the 2-minute mark. We're looking at 2:03s this morning, so if they can step up tonight and enjoy the finals experience, see if they can find a couple of seconds there.
Tom Bealey fastest, looked pretty impressive in the heats this morning. Joe Litchfield the only one sub 2 minutes on inches, 1:59.10. Tom 2:01.31, and Tom 2:03.16 fastest in qualifying for this. Looked like a good start in 6 from Joe Litchfield there, Dan.
Yeah, he's got a really good underwater phase, Joe, so let's see if he can utilise these 3 turns and use that to his advantage.
Tom Bealey going well is in lane 4. Looks as though these two might just be 1 and 2. Ryan Brown in 7 also up there. Very tight. Ryan Brown 27.10 after a very good start in 7.
Yeah, it's a close first 50 so far. Some of them taking it out pretty quick, so let's see if they can hold on throughout the race and give it a good one.
So certainly a number of these swimmers doing enough in the heats this morning to qualify, so this could come from any lane, Dan. Tom Bealey still well up there in 4. Ryan Brown and Tom Bealey look as though they're going to turn 1 and 2.
Ryan Brown just with a touch there, extending his lead slightly. Let's see if he can continue this good form throughout the rest of the race.
Certainly Ryan Brown, another Silver Squad member, second at this event last year. That's where his time 2:00:30 comes from. And still Tom Bealey and Ryan Brown at the head of affairs. No one yet making any inroads into that. And Ryan Brown's having a super swim in 7, isn't he, Dan?
Yeah, this is where he really needs to stay strong and give it that last push down this last 50.
Well, he's turned 1:29.70. He's really gone out very fast. 700ths ahead of Tom Bealey. And the rest coming back. Here comes Joe Litchfield in 6th, though. All to play for. Ryan Brown looks very strong, Dan.
Yeah, this is where it all comes into play now. Who's the toughest? Who really wants it the most?
Brown, Bealey, and anybody's for second. It looks as though Ryan Brown's going to hold him. It's very tight to death. Tom Bealey possibly just gets that. 2:01.82. Ryan Brown 2:01.97. And Joe Litchfield 2:02.97. Well, Tom Bealey finished like a train there, Dan. What did he get out that last 15?
Yeah, that's the kind of race where it can all change in the last few strokes. So it's great to see Tom Bealey just put his head down and really commit to the finish and got his hand on the wall first tonight.
There we have it, 2:01.82, 2:01.97, 2:02.97, all about getting those arms hitting the wall just perfectly. Bealey did it by 1500ths ahead of Brown and Litchfield. Another fantastic finish there. So I think we move back to presentations.
We need to be moving the presentations on, guys.
So I've had a number of exciting finishes so far, Dan.
Yeah, we've seen a lot happening within the last 50 metres, which is almost the most important part of the race.
And certainly not all the action happening in the middle of the pool as sometimes you expect in these finals. Some winners coming and certainly other medalists coming from other areas of the pool. So we have our first presentation of this set. Amy McFarlane, 2:48.27, multi-class for the 200 free. Well done, Amy. So next presentation should be the A final. Not sure if we're ready for those presentations. Girls just making their way over now. So a bronze medalist from City Sheffield, Abby Houston. Edinburgh University, Rachel Masson, our silver medalist, and a Scottish National Open champion from Loughborough University, Beth Aitchison. Our Scottish National champion will be Rachel Masson from Edinburgh University. And the other lady on the podium, Lauren Wetherall from the City of Glasgow. She's the Scottish Junior champion. Lauren swimming in the B final earlier on. So we may be moving on to the presentation for that last event, the 200 butterfly. The lads just making their way over now. So that certainly was a cracking race we've just seen, Dan. Hopefully they've got their breath back.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one, so their legs are probably still a bit sore, but pick up their medals and get to the Sundown pool.
So a bronze medalist from Loughborough University, Jo Litchfield. Ryan Brown, the silver medalist, and the Scottish National Open champion, Tom Bealey from Aberdeen Performance. And the Scottish Junior champion, I did mention him earlier on, making that B final, Mark Ford from the City of Glasgow. Just 15-year-old, very promising youngster, youth development squad, swimming in his local pool. Of course, this pool holds good memories for Dan.
Yeah, I've been racing in this pool all my life. Here at these Scottish Nationals for the last 10, 15 years, and at the Commonwealth Games is probably my best memory here.
So we move on to the 50 backstroke. To the other end of the pool. There we have Keely Hago from South Ayrshire. Again, she has to do it all on her own, as Amy McFarlane had to do in the 200 freestyle.
This one should be slightly easier for her, just one lap of the pool as fast as she can.
So as you can see, getting a little bit help, and that's allowed in the multi-class disciplines for some of the swimmers. Kelly S5 category. So 50 metres ahead of us. She did 108.61 this morning.
See how close she can get to that minute mark tonight.
Yeah, her entry time was 102.87. Sometimes entry times might be short course conversions to long course, so don't read too much into that time. It's all about trying to get under the time she did this morning. Just gone halfway at the moment, just over 30 seconds gone. She's keeping it together pretty well, Dan.
Yeah, she looks good so far. It's just about making sure she keeps that right up into the wall.
So just over 50 seconds gone. So 108.61, just approaching the minute mark. As we get into the last 5 metres, looks like she's going to be pretty close to the 108 as she was this morning. 108.32, well done, Kaylee. That's about a third of a second faster.
It's another improvement, which is great. Tough swim in her own there, but I think she handled it really well.
So tough to do it all on your own. And there she finishes. One of the key things, as you can see, must finish on your back. Don't turn round and go over 90 degrees. That's a good finish for her. So back to the other end of the pool for her B final. 30.87 through to 31.16.
See how close we can get to this 30.00 mark for some of these girls.
So this is the third girls or women's event, and Sophie Freeman from the East Region, 14-year-old, this is her third swim. She's over in lane 1.
Busy night.
So Emma Bell in 4, 30.87 was fastest. This could go any way, just important you get a good start. A good start looked to be in lane 4 and 5. Very close coming down. Lane 5 goes Simonal well there, but it's very, very tight as you can see.
As we expected, a really close race so far. Let's see who can get their hand on the wall first in the finish.
It looks to be over the far side, Sophie Freeman. Well, I did mention her at the beginning. She's certainly had a very busy evening. 30.47, and Eva Simpson from Dumfries, 30.52 over the far side. Anna Southward in lane 6, 30.73. You can see the finish there, Dan, over that far side. The girl's really doing well.
It was really good to see Sophie there, just building into tonight's swims and getting better with each one, so it was great to see her come away with the win there.
So I suspect that second place, Eva Simpson, the 15-year-old, in that B final, will give her the junior title as the swimmers make their way for the A final in lane 0. Robin Crawford from City Glasgow in 1, Caroline McIntosh, Aberdeen Performance, Emma Cruikshanks from the East Region of England in 2, Kate Kavanagh, Leinster in 3, Emily Crane, Loughborough University in 4, in 5, teammate Molly Allen, and in 6, Charlotte Evans. In 7, Emily Grant from the University of Stirling. In lane 8, from the East Region of England, Eve Wright, and in lane 9, Emily Osborne, Loughborough University. This is the women's 50 backstroke final. 29.44, Emily Crane fastest, 30.88 the slowest. So Emily Crane.
Got 2 younger swimmers again in this race. Let's see if they can step up and challenge the older ones and come away with the junior medal.
So what we're looking for off that start here, Dan?
I think you really need to utilise the underwater phase and almost kicking as far as you can up until the 15-metre mark and breaking out strong.
Certainly Emily Crane in 4, very strong, but Emily Grant in 7 also up there. Again, very tight. A little between the two. It might be Emily Grant in 7, Emily Crane in 4. Emily Crane in 4, I think, just got that, 29.55. Charlotte Evans in 6, just got up to snatch second ahead of Emily Grant, 29.78 and 29.80. We'll see the finish here, Dan.
Yeah, she had a really good tempo throughout the whole race and held it on towards the end. Got her hand on the wall, a big stretch.
Charlotte Evans just snatching second place, my 200s. Well, pretty comfortable for Emily Crane. So back to the 50s start again. Move on to the 50 breaststroke. That's the B final.
This 50 breaststroke for men is a real powerful event. You just gotta get it there, use your strength, and build into the race.
So the time's 30.39 through to 31.28. Some of these lads will want to get sub 30 in this one. Yeah, looked a good clean start there, Dan.
Yeah, the boys are slightly more limited on their start here, just with a one pull out, but just about not losing any speed off the blocks and really using your power throughout this event.
James Brown perhaps in 6 with a slight advantage, but they're all coming back very strongly in that last 5 or 10 metres here. It might just be James in lane 6. Also into finishing strongly is Adam Metcalf. Well, it was James Brown, 30.18. Adam Metcalf over in lane 2, 30.20. Charlie Waddington, 30.74. Another tight finish, 200s.
Yeah, James Brown looking really strong from start to finish there. Held his stroke and his tempo really well. Timed that finish perfectly.
So we now move on to the A final. So a strong fancy will be Craig Benson in this one. Cameron Muir in lane 0 from the city of Glasgow. In lane 1, also city Glasgow, Max Hagan. In lane 2, from North Lanarkshire, Aaron Dolan. Mark Campbell in 3 from Aberdeen Performance. Craig Benson in 4, University of Stirling. In lane 5, Oliver Crosby, City of Sheffield. In 6, Edward Baxter, Loughborough University. In 7, Ewan Leslie, Edinburgh University. His teammate Daniel Lim in 8. And John Keane from West Lothian in lane number 9. 2 lads earlier in the swim-off, not required. All these swimmers in both the A and B final taking part. Nevertheless, they did get a good start before we got on to the finals. So this is the 50-metre men's final. Now, do you fancy anybody to challenge Craig Benson in this one?
Well, Mark Campbell was a teammate of his at the Commonwealth Games, the Salmons event, so he could be one to watch as well, but Benson's going to want to get his hand on the wall first tonight.
Daniel Lim off to a good start in lane number 8. And this is by no means a guaranteed. Daniel Lim in 8. And Benson coming through along with Campbell. This is very close. Daniel Lim's going to take this from lane, I think. No, Benson, I think, just got it on that touch. 28.48. Daniel Lim, 28.71. And Mark Campbell, 28.72 by 100, takes third. That's some swim from Daniel Lim there.
Yeah, he just had a little bit too long of a glide in the end, I think, and Benson timed that finish slightly better, but really good effort from Daniel. Getting up strong and giving it his best.
I just felt Daniel Lim had that almost in the bag, but very much, as you say, a little bit of a glide at the end. Benson just getting that stroke perfect to hit the wall and snatch at the death.
Those two ex-teammates from back in the age group days trained at Warner together, so they've got a bit of a rivalry growing in this event now. It's good to see.
So I think we're back to presentations. If so, it will be for our women's 50 back and 50 breast that we've just seen. And we are back to presentation indeed. Alison Lowe keeping busy this evening. In fact, handing over the honours to Ian Fleming, who's one of the SASA vice presidents. So Emily Grant, bronze medalist. Charlotte from University of Stirling, Loughborough University's Charlotte Evans is the silver medalist. Emily Crane, Loughborough University, the gold medalist. She's your Scottish National Open champion. Eva Simpson from Dumfries, our junior champion. Great to see a 15-year-old, as we did earlier on, getting on the podium.
We had quite a lot of young swimmers in that event, so that's always good to see them swimming in the finals of the older swimmers.
Dumfries, the biggest club in Scotland, performed very well at the Scottish National Age Group Championships, finishing the top 10. So we've just seen a very tight finish there. So the bronze medalist from Aberdeen Performance, Mark Campbell. Silver medalist from Edinburgh University is Daniel Lim. And our Scottish National Open champion for 2018, Craig Benson. And our Scottish Junior champion from Swim West Lothian, John Keane. John, another talented youngster, also the British champion in his age group, so let's hope John goes on to emulate some of these lads over the next few years. Great to see that camaraderie on the podium there, Dan.
Yeah, it's the younger swimmer there looking up to those three role models, and hopefully one day he'll be at the top of the podium again with some times similar or even faster than Craig's.
So things maybe get a little bit easier for us in the commentary position with 50s, 200s and 100s. It gets a little bit more sedate now, if sedate is the right word to use. 400 IM, that's possibly your specialist event, Dan?
It certainly was at one point. It's always a very exciting event, but it's a tough one to do, so I'm glad I'm watching it today and not competing.
And all the swimmers taking part in this one. I don't think we had any swimmers in the afternoon that managed to get into an E or B final. Very tough standard of competition. And we have a youngster from Dundee City Aquatics, Anna McLeod, in that lovely pink cap. I really do love that Dundee cap. Might just be my feminine side coming through there, Dan, like in the pink.
Sure, it'd bring out your eyes. Easy to watch for the coaches to find their swimmers.
So all about improving on your times this morning for all of these youngsters. 15-year-olds through to 90-year-olds. Of course, it's age at the end of the year, so some of the swimmers might be still 14. So Lionel McLeod has turned 15. But Ellie Riley, she's a 50-year-old in lane 2. She's still 14. So first 100, Dan, what are we looking for from these girls?
It's all about getting out with the least amount of effort, really, but making sure you're not too far off the pace. Don't want to waste any unused energy. This first 100, butterfly being probably the toughest stroke out of the 4, so get that over and done with as easy as you can, really, and then start to build into your race.
Well, 31.54, Ailsa McDonald from Katie Taylor. They were first and second in the Scottish National Age Group Championships in the 17-18-year-old category. And there's Katie in lane 9, as you can see. She's gone out very strongly, Dan. It's a very, very unusual tactics for the Hearts girl. You don't see this very often. She's gone off like a train. 106.02. Can she hold this together?
She had a really good butterfly leg there, using her strength to her advantage. Getting out strong, getting out in front. She's got a great lane to be out in front as well, because the other swimmers probably can't see her there in the far end, so she needs to try and hold that lead and build from it.
Certainly, if she's got to give herself any chance, she has to be miles in front of the halfway mark, because her breaststroke is certainly the worst of the 4 disciplines. Pretty useful in backstroke as well, and a good distance freestyler, but she's still going well, Dan.
Yeah, everyone's going to have their own strengths and weaknesses. Everyone's stroke's going to be better as the race goes on, switching the stroke. So it's all about knowing what you're good at and making the most of that. So she's putting in a good performance here on the backstroke again, and trying to build up as big a lead as she can before returning at the halfway point onto the breaststroke. Certainly,
Scottish Nationals, she had a slight lead over Ailsa McDonald, about 4 seconds, and Ailsa very strong on breaststroke. We'll see her really motoring the fancy in the second half of the race. The Hearts girls, you don't see this in lane 9 very often. She's off to a very good start indeed. So at the halfway mark, Katie Taylor, 2:25.22. Couple of second advantage, Eleanor Hatton and Ailsa McDonald, well up there. So they'll all start coming back at her, I'm sure.
It's an exciting event to watch, the 400 medley, with 4 different strokes. There's always going to be a leader and other people that are better at other strokes, so it's good to see people coming through the ranks in this breaststroke leg here.
She was the winner at the schools up at East Kilbride way back in January. It's Katie, but I think she might just be overhauled here. Eleanor Hatton, Ailsa McDonald and Charlotte Robinson. Katie dropping back into 4th. She won't want to be much further back if she wants to give herself half a chance, but it's looking very, very good for Ailsa McDonald, as I fancied there, Dan. Very good breaststroke.
Yeah, these girls really building this breaststroke leg really well, and giving them a chance to race each other now, this last 100 just approaching.
Third at the British Championships, that's where our entry time into the event, 4:59.42, comes from Ailsa. Anglo-Scot from Northampton, and she's had a super breaststroke. So Ailsa turns ahead, Eleanor Hatton and Charlotte Robinson, that's a 1, 2, 3, and Ellie Riley, the other Hearts swimmer, also very useful breaststroker, has gone 4th.
Ailsa giving herself a really good chance here in the last 100, building that lead on the breaststroke. And these girls are all going to be hurting a little bit now, so it's who's the toughest, who's got the most left in the tank, and bring it home strong last 100.
Certainly very close between Ailsa and Eleanor. Ailsa's freestyle probably not the strongest, so there's a big threat coming here from Royal Wolverhampton School swimmer. Can she hold it together?
Eleanor Hatton with a really good turn there at the end, trying to chase down that gap between Ailsa and herself.
It's certainly tightening up. Ailsa McDonald still with what to do. Lots to happen. Also finishing Charlotte Robinson in 6th. But timing perfectly. Eleanor Hatton gets up and takes this. Second place, Charlotte Robinson, and third, Ailsa McDonald. Well, it all changed down that final stretch.
That was a really good finish there by Eleanor Hatton, and it was actually a joint second place for Ailsa McDonald and Charlotte Robinson, so that was a really exciting finish.
Yeah. Good to see the two girls having a bit of chat at the finish there, Eleanor and Ailsa.
Don't think they worked hard enough if they can have a wee chat at the end.
Well, Katie Taylor shouldn't be too disappointed. She swam a little bit faster than she did in the heats this morning, finishing 5th though.
It's a good event to watch because, as we just saw there, there's a lead at the start, and then it's usually a different story by the end of it to see who uses their best strokes to their advantage the most, really. A lot going on in these races.
So hopefully we've got more of the same as we move on to the A final. In lane 0, Izzy May Reeves from the city of Sheffield. In lane 1, Mia Leach from the East Region of England. Her teammate in 2, Amelia Monaghan. In lane 3, Katie Shanahan, the city of Glasgow. 4, Candice Hall, Loughborough University. 5, Orla Adams, Aberdeen Performance. Gaia Alcaraz, Aberdeen Performance in 6. Abigail Miles, City of Sheffield in 7. In 8, Martha Bradley, City of Leeds. And in 9, Yvonne Brow from South Lanarkshire. So, should be an interesting one. Candice Hall, Orla Adams, both sub 5 minutes here. That's the field. Just over 5 to about 5:05, so medals very much up for grabs in this one. Certainly 3rd and 4th. You'd fancy Candice and Orla to be very much to the fore here, Dan.
Yeah, Orla and Candice both got a bit more experience than the other swimmers, so they're going to hopefully try and use that to their advantage. But it'll be great to see some of the younger junior swimmers in this race kind of step up and challenge the middle lanes.
Chanel Snedden not taking part in this one. She did swim this morning. Looks as though she's withdrawn. So at an early stage, Candice Hall, Katie Shanahan, the 14-year-old from the city of Glasgow, going particularly well. She's another talented youngster. And up there, Mia Leach in lane number 1, going well, Dan.
Yeah, Candice Hall seems to be taking control of this race from the start, so that's obviously part of her race plan, and she seems quite confident in coming through this first part of the race.
Martha Bradley also well there in 2nd place.
Fairly tight field for third place there, so let's see if some of these swimmers can really build into the backstroke and use their strongest strokes to their advantage.
Certainly all Adams will come through stronger in the breaststroke section. At the moment, Katie Shanahan going well in lane 3, but Candice Hall looks pretty strong still in lane 4. As we saw in that B final, it all changed on breaststroke, Dan. That's where it all matters. If you get a good breaststroke, you can pull up from 4th, 5th place, the challenge.
The breaststroke was always my key part of the race. I knew that's where I was strong at, so for me it was all about hanging on the backstroke, making sure I wasn't too far behind, and really smashing the breaststroke. So let's see if some of these girls can just build into the 200-meter mark here and then really get stuck into the race.
Well, Katie Shanahan going particularly well, Scottish National Age Group champion. She's almost upside. She has a pretty good breaststroke as well. Very good all-rounder on all the strokes as Katie. And less than a second in it. Watch for Orla in lane 5 coming towards the breaststroke to put in a challenge. This is where it's all going to change.
Yeah, Orla's making an immediate attack here on the breaststroke, which is good, and sure that's her. She's spoken to her coach about that, and trying to reel them in the first 50 and possibly get past them on the second one.
Now, Katie Shanahan still well there. Orla Adams making a bit of headway, but still got a little bit to do in the next 50. Well, the gap, 0.2. Katie Shanahan. Fantastic turn there for Katie.
Yeah, the youngster's got some really good skills. She's already shown as part of this race. Let's see if she can hold that together, hold her technique, and it looks like it could be quite a good race towards the end of this event.
Now Katie Shanahan looks as though she's hit the front. Very, very interesting race developing now. Three girls almost going to touch the wall together. Katie Shanahan, Candice Hall, Orla Adams. What's the final 100 ahead of us? So Katie Shanahan and Candice Hall, Orla Adams, 3:44.92, 45.48, 45.67. Let's race on, Dan.
Yeah, this is a really crucial part of the race now. Who can stay focused, keep the head in it, and really push on towards the end of it. This is where it's going to really hurt. So this last turn here, you'll see who comes off the wall best, holding their technique, holding their stroke, doing the little things right. This is really going to help them towards the last 50.
Yeah. Katie Shanahan looks very strong indeed off that turn. Body length cleared, Dan. She looks impressive, doesn't she?
She's putting a really good performance now, really challenging these older two girls. It's great to see. So let's see her finish strong, maybe pick up her legs and get her hand on the wall first. But the other girls are still challenging her now, so it's good to see.
Well, Katie Shanahan has this one sewn up. 10 to go. Katie Shanahan, Orla Adams, Candice Hall. That's the 1, 2, 3. What a fantastic swim. Katie Shanahan, the 14-year-old from the city of Glasgow in her home pool. 4:51.16. 4:52.40 Orla Adams and 4:53.17 for Candice Hall.
That's a great improvement off this morning, and she looked pretty chuffed for that swim. It was really good to watch.
Well, the Scottish junior record held by no less than Hannah Miley, 4:47.01, only just over 4 seconds slower. But bear in mind, Katie Shanahan is only 14.
She'll have her eyes on that, and I think over the next year that's definitely in her sights.
She looks as still that plenty of breath in her there.
That would be a really prestigious name to wipe off the record book there, so good luck to her.
So great to finish off our women's event with a very, very exciting finish. So we move on to final men's event for this evening. This is the 1500 freestyle. So going in lane 0 from Wickham District, Josh Williams. In lane 1, Fraser Agnew, Aberdeen Performance. In 2, John Wright, Aberdeen Performance. In 3, Fraser Allison, Warner Baths. In 4, Ryan Reader from Devonshire. In 5, Daniel Whiffen from Lisburn. In lane 6, Dan Ferguson, Swim West Lothian. In 7, Marshall Illingworth from the city of Glasgow. In 8, Jonathan Christie, South Lanarkshire. And in lane 9, Jack Fleming from Swim Ulster. This is the fastest heat of the men's 1500 free. Ryan Reader from Devonshire, 15:56.94. Daniel Whiffen from Lisburn, 16:00.32. So about 4 seconds or so between those two.
This is a really grueling event, the 1500. All about just pacing and not getting too carried away and sticking to your strategy, but it's a tough one.
Ryan Reader 8th at the British Championships, also winner at the Edinburgh International. That's where his time, the Devonshire swimmer, comes from. 15:56.94 at Edinburgh International at the beginning of March over at the Commie Pool in Edinburgh. Also doubled up with the British Championships. Ryan Reader off to a pretty strong start already. It's all about settling into a nice rhythm here, Dan.
Yeah, it's just about not getting carried away at the start, starting to build into your position the first 300 and then really start pacing out the 50s and the 100s. So the middle lane here off to a good start, so he must be feeling quite confident, and hopefully he can hold this lead and bring some of the other guys with him.
So already a few seconds advantage at that first turn. And as you can see from the screen, 3 or 4 metres clear already, and we've barely reached 150. Marshall Illingworth from the City of Glasgow in second place. In third, John Wright, going well, University of Aberdeen.
It's quite an evenly paced race so far for second place. Middle lane out first, but if these guys can just hold on to one another and really start to settle into their stroke and their tempo.
So at 200, 203.84, pacing just around 64.5. So about 4 seconds or so cover the rest of the field from second through to 10th. At the moment, Daniel Whiffen, Lisburn swimmer in lane 5, sitting about 5th or 6th at the moment. I'm sure he'll be wanting to get into the action soon, but might just be take it steady to begin with. A strong start from Ryan in this one, Dan.
Yeah, he looks really confident now. Settled into a nice stroke pattern, breathing every 2, and he just needs to hold on to this lead and build each 100 from now.
So we should expect something around the 308 mark. 308.98. So just over 65 seconds. So this pace just a fraction slower in that third 100. So he may well be settling into a rhythm in the 65s. Certainly the moment going well clear. Marshall Illingworth still in second place. Even Marshall's beginning to pull a little bit away from the rest of the field.
Yeah, that second pack of swimmers now starting to separate up a little bit, and everyone's kind of finding their own pace and working throughout the race. So let's see if we can get a bit of a race going on for this backpack.
Almost 5 seconds the gap at that previous turn. Daniel Whiffen in 5 has now gone into 4th. So we'll wait and see if he just begins to pick the pace up. So 4:14.26. Advantage just under 4.5, just around 4.5 seconds.
And Ryan Rear looking really controlled throughout this middle part of the pool. He's building into his turns quite well, making them short and snappy, which is good. You've got a lot of turns in this race, so you need to make sure that you're making them as effective as you can and building some momentum before each 50.
Marshall was third in the National Open last year. Fourth at the National Age Group Championships, Scottish event in this pool a few months back. Still holding second. It looks as though Daniel Whiffen from Lisburn now going into third place. So a third of the race gone, 5:19.70, pacing just over 65 seconds there. Advantage 5.5 second plus. And about further couple of seconds back is Daniel Whiffen. but no one's got any answer to Ryan Reeder at the moment, Dan.
Not yet, no, but there's a long way to go, so it can all change. But he's looking really confident right now. Let's see if some of these boys can maybe start to close the gap slightly.
Daniel Whiffen winner at the Dave McCulloch meet. So the Irish Championships. So certainly not out of it. He's coming through to challenge for second place now. He was about 8 seconds behind our leader. So 6:25.10. Almost 7 seconds back, Daniel Whiffen. That Marshall Illingworth just in second. And now being, I think, overtaken. So we'll see if how this race develops. We've almost gone halfway. Might be the Irishman just biding his time in the early stages, and will build in the second half. So Reeder turning, Whiffen and Illingworth separated by a tenth.
Ryan Reeder with a really low stroke count right now, which should bode well for him towards the end of the race. His arms should be a little bit less tired than some of these guys that have quite high tempo. So let's see if you can just hold that, stay nice, calm and collected, and keep reffing out these hundreds.
Well, it's almost metronomic. 65 seconds again. Josh Williams over in lane 0, the Southeast champion. He's picked up the pace and gone third. And the rest of the field, well, back at the moment. So I've got an idea of the gap between first and second. Well, it's approaching 9 seconds. Marshall Illingworth, Josh Williams and Daniel Whiffen. So our leader looks pretty strong, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's established himself from the early stages, and he looks really confident in his strokes. Let's see if he can just keep ticking away. And this second group of swimmers are all still fairly neck and neck, so let's see if they can kind of push one another and start to play a bit of cat and mouse as we build into the second half of the race.
Well, the Wickham swimmer over in lane 0, Josh Williams, just been picking up the pace and certainly gone clear in second. We are well clear now. So we've gone 8:50. And advantage almost 10 seconds. Josh Williams 1.25 ahead of Marshall Illingworth, who's almost a second ahead of Daniel Whiffen. At this early stage, we've reached 900. Somewhere around 9:40 pace. 9:40.48. Well, I certainly got him into a very steady pace, just over 65 seconds. It's been that almost throughout.
This is the part of the race where it's going to start to get a bit hard for these swimmers. They've found their pace and their tempo. It's just about trying to hold that now and not dropping off any time in these next few stages.
So Ryan, 15:56.94. Pacing probably around just a shade over 16 minutes. 16:05. Maybe a little bit over that, maybe nearer 16:10. We'll see how he goes in the third section of the race as we come down. So 1,000 meters gone. sorry, yeah, 1,000, 1,500, 500 still to go. 10:45.56. Josh Williams, a couple of seconds ahead of Daniel Whiffen and Marshall Illingworth. Marshall, the leading Scot, dropped down to fourth position. Marshall, one of a number of swimmers who does a lot of open water. Anything that you did in your time, Dan, or did you not fancy?
Not really. I kind of stuck to pool swimming, but quite recently I was been working with Kerry-Ann Payne, who's a very good open water swimmer and pool swimmer. She's I've now been qualified. I'm a level 2 swim open water coach, so as much as I don't really like to get in the water these days, I might do a bit of work in coaching in the open water.
So 11:50.84. Well, 00:37 for Josh Williams and Daniel Whiffen. 12:03.24, but 2.5 further back. And at the moment, Dan, you don't see any change in this order?
No, it seems to kind of be set as it is. These guys have all found their tempo and their pace, and that's what they're working with. So at this point, it doesn't look like anyone's going to challenge the leader, but you know, in the closing stages, it could be a bit of a race leading in for second and third, which would be good.
So 300 to go. 12:56.69. So that's probably about the slowest 100 we've seen. That was approaching 66 seconds. 65.85. Josh Williams now going. Best part of 4 seconds clear in second. Marshall Illingworth quite a fair way back in fourth place. There's the caption at the front, our leader. 13:29.57.
Ryan Reader just having a little look up there at the lap count to see where exactly he is, just so he knows how long he's got left, and you'll get the bell on this. Coming up to the bell now, but a really good performance so far.
Oh, he's got another 100 to go before he hears the bell, Dan.
I've lost count. I'm not even in the race.
Just as well you're not in the pool.
I prefer it up here, but it's been a really good swim so far for him, and he's really held his position well, and nothing's really changed for him, so that's good. That was obviously part of his race strategy, to get it hard, get an early tempo set in, and just hold it throughout.
Well, he's got over 8 seconds advantage. Likely to come in just a little bit over the 16:10 mark. Last couple of hundred, it's been around the 66, so it might be nearer 16:15. He's certainly done all the hard work in the middle part of the race. Certainly did a fair bit in the early section just to pull away and maintain that throughout the second half. Final half just maybe hurting a little bit. Certainly Josh Williams looks as though he's finishing very strongly over in lane 0. And bell for Ryan, 15:09.06. Again, just over 66 seconds.
Let's see if he can pick up a little bit this last 100, maybe work the legs a bit and try and pick up on the pace he's been holding.
7-second gap between 1 and 2, further 6 or so between 2 and 3. Marshall Illingworth about another 5 back in 4th position. Rest of the field well back. So 35 or so to go. Right, well cleared done.
Yeah, he's picking up his tempo a bit now, just squeezing out whatever energy he's got left after this long race. But a really dominant performance tonight by Ryan Reeder in the men's 1500.
So finishing strongly, 16:13.41. And Josh Williams, that is some swim from lane 0, 16:19.64. When he's entered on a 16:31.40. So almost 12 seconds off that time. It's pretty impressive.
So this is the kind of event where you can see some big drops like that, so that's really nice to see there from lane 0.
Josh just a 16-year-old, so probably a lot more improvement still to come from him. Daniel Whiffen from Lisburn, 17-year-old, takes third, 16:28.44. Marshall Illingworth, top Scott home, 16:33.18. The last two swimmers just about finishing. Jonathan Christie in lane number 8. Coming through, there we have it. That concludes the men's event for this evening. Still a bit more fun to come. We finish with the freestyle relay. I'm sure he'll be delighted to hit the ball there.
Yeah, it's a long, grueling event, so I'm sure all those boys are glad it's over. And really good performance by all the men in that race tonight.
So a lot of them will pop next door and get into the swim down. Important for Ryan and the rest of the lads to get in and probably do what, good 20 minutes, half an hour in the water.
Yeah, definitely to take their time and make sure they remove all that lactic acid they've built up and get ready for tomorrow's swims.
So back onto presentations. And SASA past president Margaret Somerville, I think, is doing the honours for this one. As you can see from the warm weather, these lovely summer dresses are two presidents and past president wearing. So our bronze medalist in the ladies 400 IM, Candice Hall from Loughborough University. Our silver medalist from Aberdeen Performance, Orla Adams. And our Scottish National Open champion from the city of Glasgow is Katie Shanahan. And also, Katie is the Scottish Junior champion. So taking home all the prizes, Katie. Doing the photo shoot. And you'll be seeing Katie's coach coming up. Just getting a nice photo of them. Must be great to be 14 and winning your first national championships, Dan.
Yeah, it's really impressive, and it was a great race to watch, and it was a bright future for this young swimmer. Hopefully she'll be nipping at Hannah Miley's toes sooner rather than later.
So we just seen these three lads get their breath back. So a bronze medalist, Northern Ireland from Lisburn, Daniel Whiffen. Great to come over from Ireland and take a medal home. Also our silver medalist from Wickham District, in the south of England, Josh Williams. And our Scottish National Open champion from Derventio, Ryan Reader. And our Scottish national champion from the city of Glasgow, Marshall Ellingworth. And I think this young lad, who had a cracking swim, I think he finished second in the heat that we had this morning. That's Angus Allison from the Warner Bass Club, previous Inverleith. He's just moved over to join Warner for the coming season. Another club you've been associated with in the past, Dan, Warner?
Yeah, I spent many years at Warner, coming up through the age groups, and they've always been a really big team here in Scotland, producing some great swimmers. So it's good to see a Warner swimmer back on the podium again.
So the last event. A lot of fun to have relays to finish with. This is the women's 4x200 freestyle relay. So, as you can see, University of Aberdeen girls team over in lane 0. In lane 1, a team from South Lanarkshire. In lane 2 is Leinster. In lane 3, the Wonder Bass Club. In lane 4, City Glasgow. In lane 5, East Region of England. In lane 6, City Glasgow B team. In lane 7, Aberdeen Performance B team. In lane 8, Dundee City Aquatics. And in lane 9, Connacht. So a pretty good race this morning. Let's hope this one lives up to the same. Leinster B team 8:54.18, snatched it by 0.1 from Wickham District A.
See if we can have some head-to-head racing here throughout this event. There should be a lot going on with everyone has their own race plans over 200 metres, and a lot of teams here in this event tonight.
Well, it looks as though South Lanarkshire in lane 1 have pulled this from this one. One or two of the swimmers a little bit under the weather perhaps. But, Emily Horn from the City of Glasgow off to a good start already, Dan.
Yeah, she's out there first, quite quick first 50, so let's see if she can build her lead throughout the race and stay out in front.
What's the tactics behind what these teams do for the 4x200?
Well, everyone's going to have a different strategy, you know, where they place their strongest swimmers and their weakest swimmers. So, you know, traditionally you want your strongest swimmer at the end, but there's always that advantage of putting someone out fast up front, give yourself a lead and hopefully hang on. And Emily Horn putting in a really good leg for her team right now.
Well, Katie Smith, senior bronze member from Warner Bass Club, going well in second place. Certainly Katie Smith, pretty effective on freestyle. 200s is certainly her limit. Better on the 50s and 100s. And, all getting pretty tight now here. Dan, Emily Horn, Katie Shanahan. Two City Glasgow swimmers, 1, 2, and Katie Smith in third.
These other girls have really narrowed down that lead that Emily built the first 50, and it's now a close finish between these three girls. And
Alice Alcaraz in lane 0, finishing like a train, and she's brought them from probably fourth, almost I think into first place. It looks like Aberdeen Performance, Warner Baths, and the City of Glasgow B team very close at that first turnover. Alice Alcaraz 2:07.44, 2:07.81 for Katie Shanahan, Katie Smith 2:07.93. So it's Aberdeen Performance A, City Glasgow B, their junior team, and Warner Bass Club.
That was really well swam there by the Aberdeen swimmer, tasting her race perfectly to finish really strong, and got her hand on the wall first during that first leg.
Well, Serena Guaram, youth squad member for the junior team for the City of Glasgow. Got some cracking juniors at City of Glasgow in the girls section. Probably putting two of the fastest swimmers out first. Elise McQueenie will take over. Over on that far side, Orla Adams. She's going particularly well. A little between the two here, Dan. Serena and Orla with Wonder Baths, Sarah Anderson, Katie McKenzie for the City of Glasgow A team.
And these two girls quite spread out as far as lanes goes, so they might not be able to see each other. So it's all about sticking to your race plan and really working this third 50. See if you can extend that lead as far as you can, and we're building up for a really exciting race towards the second half.
Now, Serena very strong on butterfly, not bad on backstroke, but no slouch on freestyle as well. And she often does 200. You see her in a 200 freestyle medley relay. She did that for the school games a couple of years back. Blanket finish in that one. First three were separated by 500ths, and she's going really well for the junior team, Dan.
Yeah, it's a really good performance here. She's staying strong this last 50, and they can't really see it, but there's a good race going on in the end line.
Sarah Anderson holding it pretty well together for the Wonder Baths Club. They're holding third from City Glasgow's A team. Serena's done the business to hand over to another 14-year-old Elise McQueenie. Elise fantastic on backstroke, no slouch on freestyle. Can she maintain this advantage? You'd certainly fancy Kirsty Stimson. Loads of experience over in lane 0 for University of Aberdeen to come through very much strongly in the third section here.
It'll be interested to see who's put their faster swimmers towards the end and see if there's anyone creeps up to challenge these two teams right now, but it's shaping up to be a really good race so far.
Mary Swanson and Kirsty Griffiths having a good battle. But certainly the race on between University of Aberdeen and City of Glasgow. Kirsty Simpson, bags of experience, looks as though she might just be a shade in the lead at that turn. Well, it's point 1. Mary Swanson for Warnder, Kirsty Griffiths for City Glasgow. The Leinster team back in 5th. So this is where they've got to do a lot of work, Dan.
Yeah, this is where they need to kick in and really work this last turn and give their teammates the best possible advantage they can before the last leg. And there's two really good races going on right now for first and second between these 4 teams.
You know, you'd fancy Kirsty Simpson with all her experience, possibility have got ahead of the junior team. At City Glasgow with Lauren Wellerall, another youth squad member. Lauren Wellerall extremely strong on freestyle. So this isn't a gimme by any means. Certainly the junior team going very well. Mary Swanson finishing for Wander very strongly. So Gul Simono will take 4th place for City Glasgow. Sarah Fraser for Aberdeen University. City Glasgow's Lauren Wellerall goes into the lead, and Roisin Ramsey, another youth squad member. It's all to play for here. Wander in 3rd. University of Aberdeen still in 2nd. Lauren Wellerall going pretty well here, Dan.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see who's left their big guns for the end and the big anchor leg, and see if we can get a bit of a race going for across these 4 teams.
Well, we've already had a junior earlier on the 400 IM. This could be another double-double with the junior team finishing junior champions and senior champions. It doesn't happen very often, Dan. It has happened before.
Yeah, it's great to see that, these girls stepping up and having some guts and challenging these bigger teams and these older athletes. And it's great to see, and it bodes well for the future as well.
Well, I don't want to say it's in the bag, but it looks that way at the moment. Roisin Ramsey still making headway. She's now gone second for Wanda, but she's got 2.5 seconds or so to make up. That's a massive ask with 100 to go. Gosimono still well there. That's where the battle is for second and third. But this looks good for Lauren.
Lauren now just needs to attack this last wall and bring it home for her team. They've all put in a fantastic effort so far, and it's paying off well right now. Let's see if she can hold on.
Well,
Warren the Bass coming back slightly now, and Gustav not far off that as well.
Well, do we have a finish at the death here? Wander Bass with around a second to make up. Roisin Ramsey making significant headway here. It's Wander Bass. Roisin Ramsey hits the front. Lauren Wetherall in second for City of Glasgow with the other Glasgow team, Gosimono. That's a fantastic leg for Wander. They've got it spot on. Wander Bass are going to be Scottish national champions for the 4x200 freestyle. The junior team from City of Glasgow takes second, and the A team for City of Glasgow in third. What a fantastic finish. That is a new junior club record for the City of Glasgow, 8:37.44. Well, no disgrace in second place, but Wander Bass, what a swim from Roisin.
Yeah, that was a great finish, and they all executed their race plans perfectly and finished really strong there. There was Warner girls and came away with the win. That was great.
Oh, what a finish. Wander 8:36.02. 8:37.44, new junior club record for the City of Glasgow. New junior record for the City of Glasgow, and the A team having to settle for third, 8:41.83. Now, City of Glasgow's A team on paper were about 10 seconds faster and ended up 4 seconds behind. Wander's entry time 8:34.13 wasn't all that far off their final time, 8:36.02. So well done, Wander. Also well done to City Glasgow junior team and also their A team. Nice to see Roisin finishing and bringing Wander home. Roisin's had pretty hard season. But nice to see her coming through strongly in the latter half of the season. New squad member. So you can see, we can see from where we are just how much is taken out these swimmers. Always a grueling event, that Dan, 4x200.
It's a tough one, the longer of the relays, but it's always exciting to see what teams started fast and what teams finished strong. And it was a really I was involved in a lot of different places and really enjoyed.
So just a one medal presentation to follow. Girls will take a minute or two to get their breath back, and various officials helping poolside. As you can see, hashtag SNOC18. Please give us all your messages. Gallery almost empty now. And our helpers poolside just getting the 12 girls organised for the presentations. So it looks as though we're just about ready to go. This is what swimming's all about, being part of a team and giving it your all for your teammates.
Yeah, these really events you can always find something a little bit more because you know you've got your three teammates with you all racing alongside each other. It's a great experience for these athletes. So
our bronze medalist, the City of Glasgow A team. The A team consists of Emily Horn, Katie McKenzie, Kirsty Griffiths, Gosimono, So silver medalists. City Glasgow junior team, the B team, you can call it what you like. They were top of the two city teams, City Glasgow teams. Katie Shanahan, Serena Guanam, Elise McQueenie, and Lauren Weatherall. They're also the junior champions. We'll get that in a moment, but they're Scottish national women champions. The team from Wander Baths. Katie Smith has got her medal. Mary Swanson. There's Sarah Fraser. Nice to see Sarah on the podium. And Rasheen Ramsey, cracking swim to bring it home at the death. And finally, Ian Wright and Costas going to get some additional photos taken. So there we have the junior team again. City Glasgow's Katie Shanahan, Elise McQueenie, Serena Guaram, Lauren Weatherall. Swam Katie, Serena, Elise and Lauren. So just getting the girls positioned for that podium and get the photos taken. That'll be the headlines for tomorrow, Dan.
Yeah, those are the medal winners for tonight, and they're all putting some good swims tonight across the board, and really started off this competition really well.
Great to see youngsters on that podium.
Yeah, we had a lot of junior swimmers really step up tonight, and they were spread all across the podium, so that was good, and it'd be good to see that build into the meet over the next few days.
So that concludes events for day one, session 3. We're back tomorrow. Session starts again, the finals at 5:30. That's what we have to look forward to. Should be an interesting evening, Dan.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
800 free for women and a men's 4x100 free to finish with. Again, lots of hundreds, 200s, 400s to look forward to tomorrow morning and the afternoon. And we'll be back for finals tomorrow. So thank you very much. Been wonderful having all that expertise from Dan this evening, Dan Wallace, our ex-Olympian.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
And from myself, Robert Taylor, thank you for joining us, and we look forward to you joining us tomorrow evening at just before 5:30. So from Tollcross, from Dan and myself, good night.
I enjoyed it.